Hey everyone, and welcome back to channel. Tell me honestly, how many times have you found yourself stuck in a problem, overthinking it for hours, maybe even days? And the more you think, the bigger it gets, right? But what if I told you the secret to peace and progress is not in the problem, but in where you focus? Today I'll show you how to shift your mind from problems to solutions and change the way you see everything in life. Do you often get stuck in problems? Comment yes below. Let's see how many of us feel that way. Chapter 1: The Trap of the Problem Mindset. Have you ever noticed how one small problem can ruin your whole day? Maybe you woke up late. Maybe someone said something that hurt you. Maybe your plan failed. And suddenly, your mind starts running in circles. You think about what went wrong again and again. You feel angry, sad, or hopeless. The more you think, the heavier it feels. It is like being stuck in a dark room with no door. This is what I call the problem trap. It is when we give all our energy to what went wrong instead of what can go right. Our mind keeps replaying the problem. We talk about it, we complain about it, we even dream about it, but nothing changes. The truth is, the more we focus on the problem, the bigger it becomes. It starts to control how we feel, how we talk, and even how we act. Our brain is like a camera. It shows us what we choose to focus on. If we point it toward pain, we see pain. If we point it toward hope, we start to see hope. Most people don't realize this. They think their thoughts are automatic, but they are not. You have the power to choose what you focus on. Think about a time when you lost something small, like your keys or your phone. You felt frustrated, right? The more you said, "Where is it? I can't find it," the more stressed you felt. But when you stopped for a moment and calmed down, you suddenly remembered where it was. That small pause changed everything. It shifted your focus. That is what happens in life too. When you stay stuck on the problem, your mind closes. When you relax and look for the solution, your mind opens. Our thoughts create our feelings. When we keep thinking about a problem, we create more worry. When we think about a solution, we create hope. That is why it is so important to pay attention to your focus. What are you giving your energy to right now? The problem or the solution? Let's be honest. Sometimes it feels easier to stay in the problem. We complain, we blame, we feel sorry for ourselves. It gives us a reason not to act. But deep down, that does not make us feel better. It makes us tired. It steals our peace. When we stay stuck in problems, we stop growing. We stop seeing what we can actually do to move forward.
You are stronger than you think. You are not your problems. You are the person who can solve them. Every time you choose to focus on what can be done, you take your power back. You start to feel lighter. You start to feel in control again.
Sometimes we believe that focusing on problems helps us find answers, but most of the time, it only creates more confusion. Focusing on problems is like trying to drive while staring in the rearview mirror. You can't see where you are going. You can only see where you have been. But when you lift your eyes and look forward, the road becomes clear again. Right now, think about one problem in your life. It could be small or big. Notice how it makes you feel when you think about it. Then ask yourself this simple question: what can I do about it right now? Not what happened, not what went wrong, just what can I do now? That one question can shift your focus completely. You see, life will always bring challenges. No one is free from problems, but you can choose how to face them. You can choose to be the person who stays in the storm or the one who looks for the way out. The storm is not the end. It is only a part of your journey. What matters most is what you focus on inside the storm. In the next chapter, I will show you the first and most powerful step to get out of the problem trap. It is called awareness. When you become aware of how your mind works, you can start to control it. You can shift from confusion to clarity, from fear to focus. So keep watching, because from this point forward, everything starts to change. Chapter 2, Awareness, the first step toward solutions. The first step to solving any problem is to become aware of it. Awareness means seeing things clearly, without panic, without judgment. It is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, everything looks different. You can finally see what is really there. Most people don't notice how often their mind repeats the same thoughts. They wake up thinking about the same worries they had yesterday. They go to sleep still thinking about them. It becomes a habit of worry, a habit of fear. But habits can change, and awareness is the key to that change. When you become aware, you step outside your thoughts for a moment. You look at them as if you are watching them from the outside. You say to yourself, "Oh, I am thinking about this again." That one simple sentence creates space between you and your thoughts. In that space, you find peace. You find the power to choose a new thought. Let me give you a small example. Imagine you are sitting in traffic. You start to feel angry. You think, why is this happening? I will be late again. Your body tenses up. Your heart beats faster. You are trapped in the problem. But then, you remember to stop. You take a deep breath. You notice your thoughts. You say, I am feeling angry because I am stuck in traffic. That is awareness. You don't fight the feeling, you just see it. And when you see it, it starts to lose its power. Awareness is not about ignoring problems. It is about seeing them calmly. Because when your mind is calm, it can think clearly. You can see options. You can find steps forward. Without awareness, you react. With awareness, you respond. And there is a big difference between reacting and responding. When you react, your emotions control you. You might say or do things you regret later, but when you respond, you are in control. You use your mind wisely. You take smart action instead of emotional action. So how do you build awareness? It starts with small moments. You can practice during your day. When you feel stressed, pause. Just stop for a second. Take one deep breath. Notice what you are thinking. Notice what you are feeling. That's it. That's awareness. You are learning to see your thoughts instead of being lost in them. You can also write down what you notice. Keep a small notebook. When something upsets you, write about it. Write what happened, what you felt, and what you thought. When you see your words on paper, you will notice patterns. You will see how often your mind focuses on problems. This simple act of writing gives you clarity. It helps you understand yourself better. Many people think they are their thoughts, but you are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them. Thoughts come and go, but you stay. When you realize this, you stop fighting your mind. You start working with it. That is real awareness. And once you are aware, you can make new choices. You can choose to focus on the next step instead of what went wrong. You can choose peace instead of worry. You can choose action instead of fear. Awareness is the foundation of all change. Without it, we stay stuck. But with it, we wake up. We begin to see how powerful we truly are. Every problem starts to look different when you look at it with awareness. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this? That question alone can change your life. Remember, awareness is not something you do once. It is something you practice every day. The more you practice, the faster you will notice when your mind is slipping into the problem trap. You will catch yourself and bring your focus back to what matters, the solution. When you become aware, you also become calmer. You stop rushing. You stop overthinking. You start to live in the present moment. And in the present, everything is easier to handle. The past is gone. The future is not here yet. Only this moment matters. And in this moment, you can choose what to focus on. So today, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am aware of my thoughts. I can choose where to focus. Say it quietly in your mind. Feel its truth. You are in control of your focus, even if the world around you feels out of control. In the next chapter, we will go deeper. You will learn how to train your brain to think in solutions, not in problems. You will learn small daily habits that can change the way your mind works forever. Keep watching, because once you learn to train your brain, you will never see problems the same way again. Chapter 3: How to Train Your Brain to Find Solutions. Now that you understand awareness, it's time to take the next big step. You are going to learn how to train your brain to look for solutions instead of problems. This skill can change your life. It can change how you think, how you feel, and how you act every single day. Your brain is powerful. It listens to everything you think. It believes what you repeat. If you always think about what went wrong, your brain will keep looking for more problems. But if you train it to look for what can be done, it will start finding answers for you. Your brain becomes what you teach it to focus on. Let's understand this with something simple. Imagine you are learning to ride a bicycle. At first, you fall many times. You feel scared. You think, I can't do this. But then, you try again. You focus on balancing. You keep practicing. Slowly, your brain learns how to stay steady. You stop falling. That is how training works. You keep teaching your brain what to do until it becomes natural. It is the same with your thoughts. Every time you face a problem, your brain wants to go back to its old habit: worry, stress, and fear. But you can catch it. You can tell yourself, no, I am not going to think like that. Then ask, what can I do right now? This small question changes the direction of your mind. You stop thinking about what you cannot control and start thinking about what you can control. One of the best ways to train your brain is to use questions. The right questions lead your brain to the right answers. When something goes wrong, instead of saying, why me, ask, what can I learn from this? Or how can I make this better? These questions open your mind. They tell your brain to start looking for solutions. You can also use gratitude as a tool. Gratitude means focusing on what is still good, even when things are hard. When you feel thankful, your brain relaxes. It stops seeing only problems. It starts seeing possibilities. Every time you say, I am thankful for this, you are training your brain to find light in dark places. Another powerful habit is journaling. At the end of the day, write about one problem you faced and one way you handled it. Even if it was small, write it down. You will begin to see that you already solve many things every day. This builds confidence. It shows your brain that you are capable. Remember, your brain loves patterns. If you always tell yourself, I can't, your brain will believe it. But if you tell yourself, I can figure this out, your brain will start working for you. It will look for ideas, steps, and support. That is how powerful self-talk is. You can even practice this with small daily things. Let's say your phone battery dies and you feel frustrated. Instead of getting angry, take a breath and say, okay, what can I do? Maybe you charge it. Maybe you talk to someone instead. Maybe you take a short walk. You turned a small problem into a new action. You taught your brain to move forward. The more you practice this way of thinking, the stronger it becomes. At first, it might feel strange. You might forget, but that's okay. Every time you remember, you are growing. Every time you shift from a problem to a solution, you are training your brain to work for you, not against you. Some people believe positive thinking means ignoring reality. That's not true. Real positive thinking means seeing the truth clearly, but choosing to focus on what you can do about it. You don't deny the problem, you just don't stay stuck in it. You use it as a step to move higher. You can also visualize success. Close your eyes and imagine yourself solving your problem. Picture yourself calm and confident. See the steps clearly in your mind. When you imagine success, your brain starts believing it's possible. This simple act gives you strength and direction. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Training your brain takes time. You will have good days and bad days, but every small effort counts. Each time you choose a new thought, you are rewriting your future. You are no longer the person who stays stuck in problems. You are the person who searches for answers. You are the person who grows stronger with every challenge. So remember this: your mind is your tool. Use it wisely. Teach it to serve you, not to scare you. Teach it to find doors, not walls. The more you train your brain, the more peaceful and powerful you become. In the next chapter, we will talk about something very special. You will learn how to turn every setback, every failure, and every mistake into an opportunity. You will see that problems are not your enemies, they are your teachers. And keep watching, because from here, you will start to see your problems in a whole new way. Chapter 4: Turning Setbacks into Opportunities. Every person faces setbacks. Sometimes things do not go the way we expect. We fail an exam, we lose a job, we get rejected, we make a mistake. It hurts. It makes us feel weak. It makes us question ourselves. But what if every setback is not the end? What if it is a lesson in disguise? Life is full of surprises. Some are good, some are not. But every experience teaches us something. When you start seeing your setbacks as teachers, everything changes. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this? That one small shift can turn pain into growth. Think about this. When a seed is planted in the ground, it is covered by darkness. It cannot see the sun. But that darkness is where it starts to grow. It pushes upward, slowly, toward the light. Without the dark soil, the seed would never become a tree. In the same way, your hard times can help you grow stronger, wiser, and kinder. Sometimes, failure is not a sign that you are weak. It is a sign that you are trying. It means you are learning. Every successful person you know has failed many times. But they didn't stop. They learned from every mistake. They used every fall to rise higher. Let me tell you something simple. Problems are not always bad. They show us what needs to change. They help us see what we didn't notice before. Maybe a problem is showing you a new path. Maybe it is teaching you patience. Maybe it is preparing you for something better. For example, imagine you applied for a job and didn't get it? At first, you feel sad. You think you are not good enough. But after some time, you find a different job that fits you perfectly. Looking back, you realize that rejection was not the end. It was redirection. Life was leading you somewhere better. When you face a setback, stop and breathe. Don't rush. Don't panic. Ask yourself, what can this teach me? Maybe it teaches you to work harder. Maybe it teaches you to plan better. Maybe it teaches you to trust yourself. Every answer helps you grow. The truth is, you cannot control everything that happens, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to cry over what you lost, or focus on what you can create next. You can choose to give up or get up. You always have that choice. When things go wrong, many people get stuck in the past. They replay the same moment again and again. They say, if only I had done this differently. But the past cannot be changed. What can be changed is your attitude. You can turn your pain into purpose. You can turn your mistake into motivation. Here is a small exercise you can try. Think of one problem you faced in the past. Now ask yourself, what did I learn from it? Maybe you learned to be stronger. Maybe you learned to value people more. Maybe you learned to believe in yourself. When you look at your past this way, you will see that nothing was wasted. Every challenge shaped you into who you are today. Remember, life is not always about winning. It is about growing. It is about becoming a better version of yourself. Every setback gives you a chance to practice patience, courage, and hope. These are the real lessons of life. When you start seeing your problems as opportunities, you stop feeling afraid of them. You start feeling curious. You start thinking, okay, what can I make from this? That question gives you power. It turns fear into action. And here's something very important. Don't compare your journey with others. Everyone has their own path. Just because someone else seems ahead does not mean you are behind. Maybe your journey is preparing you for something bigger. Trust your timing. Trust the process. You are not broken because of your failures. You are being built. Every mistake adds strength. Every fall adds wisdom. Every comeback adds confidence. You are growing through what you go through. So next time you face a setback, don't say, why me? Say, try me. Stand tall. Take the lesson, move forward with faith. You will see how even the hardest times can lead to something beautiful. In the next chapter, we will go even deeper. You will learn how the words you use every day can change the way you think and feel. You will discover how language shapes your focus, and you will see how changing your words can change your entire life. Stay with me, because from this point, your growth will only get stronger. Chapter 5: The Power of Language and Focus. Have you ever noticed how the words you say can change how you feel? The words we use every day shape our thoughts, our emotions, and even our future. Words are powerful. They can build us up or break us down. They can open doors or close them. When you say, I can't do this, your mind stops working. It believes you. It shuts the door to new ideas. But when you say, how can I do this, your brain starts searching for answers. Just one small change in language can create a big change in your focus. Many people don't realize that their language controls their mind. They speak about what they don't want instead of what they do want. They say, I don't want to fail, instead of saying, I want to learn and succeed. The brain listens to the main idea, and it follows it. If you talk about failure, you feel fear. If you talk about growth, you feel hope. The words you choose become the thoughts you think. The thoughts you think become the actions you take, and the actions you take shape your life. That's why it's so important to use positive, powerful, and clear language. Here's something you can try right now. Say out loud, I focus on solutions, not problems. Feel how strong that sounds. It gives you energy. It gives you direction. It makes your mind come alive. Every time you repeat this, your brain starts to believe it a little more. When you talk to yourself, be kind. Many people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to a friend. They say, I'm so stupid or I'll never be good enough. These words hurt the heart. They make the mind weak. But you can change that. You can speak to yourself with love and respect. You can say, I made a mistake, but I can learn. Or I'm growing every day. These words lift you up. Your focus follows your language. When you talk about problems all the time, you keep seeing more problems. But when you talk about solutions, you start finding them. It's like turning a light in your mind. Suddenly, things that seemed impossible begin to make sense. Let's take an example. Imagine you are learning English, and you keep saying, my English is bad. Every time you say that, your brain accepts it as truth. You feel nervous when you speak. You lose confidence. But if you change your words and say, I am improving my English every day, something changes inside you. You start believing you can grow. You feel motivated to practice more. The words you use feed your energy. You can also change the way you talk about your life. Instead of saying, my life is full of problems, say, my life is full of lessons. Instead of saying, I'm unlucky, say, I'm learning how to create my own luck. The situation may stay the same, but your attitude becomes different. And when your attitude changes, your life begins to change too. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about using words that give you power, not fear. You can describe the same thing in a better way. You can say this is hard, or you can say this is challenging, but I can handle it. The second one gives you courage. You can even practice this when you talk to others. When someone complains, try to respond with hope. When someone talks about what's wrong, talk about what can be done. You will notice that your energy feels lighter. People will feel better around you too. You become the person who brings calm instead of chaos. If you ever feel lost, just remember this rule. What you say is what you see. If you say, I can, you will see a way. If you say, I can't, you will see a wall. So choose your words wisely. Every sentence you speak builds your mindset. Every word you say writes your story. Take a moment now and say it with me quietly. I choose my words carefully. I use my language to focus on solutions. Feel the peace that comes with those words. Feel how your heart opens. That is the power of language. You don't have to change your whole life today. Just start with the words you use. Let them be gentle. Let them be strong. Let them guide you toward what you want, not what you fear. In the next and final chapter, we will bring everything together. You will learn how to live a life fully focused on solutions, peace, and purpose. You will see how every small change you've learned leads to a calm and confident mind. Stay with me till the end. The final message will remind you how powerful you truly are. Chapter 6. Living the Solution-Focused Life. Negative thinking: how to shift your focus, build awareness, train your mind, learn from setbacks, and use powerful language. It is time to bring everything together. This is where you start living a solution-focused life. A life where you don't run from problems, but you don't let them control you either. A solution-focused life is peaceful. It is strong, It is full of calm confidence. It does not mean you will never face challenges again. It means you will face them differently. You will face them with courage, not fear. You will see problems, but you will also see possibilities. Every day you have a choice. You can wake up thinking about what's wrong, or you can wake up thinking about what you can make right. That simple choice shapes your day. When you choose to look for solutions, your whole energy changes. You start your day with hope instead of worry. Living this way is like learning to surf on the waves of life. You don't control the ocean. You can't stop the waves. But you can learn to balance and move with them. That is what solution-focused living is: balance in motion. You stop fighting life and start flowing with it. You begin to notice how your focus shapes your feelings. When you think of problems, you feel heavy. When you think of solutions, you feel light. You see, your emotions follow your focus. That's why staying aware is so important. You become the observer of your mind. When it drifts toward negativity, you gently bring it back. In this kind of life, small things don't shake you as much. You handle them with more patience. When something goes wrong, you take a breath and ask, "What can I do now?" That question becomes your habit. It becomes your power. Living a solution-focused life also means trusting yourself. You may not know all the answers right away, but you know you will find them. You believe in your ability to figure things out. That belief gives you strength. It gives you peace. It also changes how you treat others. When you start focusing on solutions, you become more positive around people. You listen more. You complain less. You bring calm energy instead of tension. People start feeling safe and inspired around you. You become a light in their dark moments. And here's something beautiful. When you live with a solution-focused mind, you start to see growth everywhere. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every mistake becomes a teacher. Every new day becomes a chance to do better. You stop fearing change because you know you can adapt. You know you can find a way. This mindset doesn't make life perfect, but it makes you stronger than your problems. It gives you peace in the middle of chaos. And that peace is priceless. Whenever you face something hard, remind yourself of everything you've learned. Stop. Breathe. Become aware of your thoughts. Ask the right questions. Speak with kindness. Look for the lesson. And take one small step forward. Even small steps count. Sometimes, one small action is all you need to break a big problem into something you can handle. Step by step, you move forward. Slowly, you start seeing results. Slowly, you start seeing that you are capable of more than you ever thought. Don't wait for the perfect time to start. Start now. Practice today. Use your awareness. Use your words. Train your mind. Learn from every mistake and trust yourself. You are already growing. You are already changing. The overthinking life is not about having no problems. It's about becoming a person who can face anything with calm and confidence. It's about believing that every problem has a key and you can find it. So the next time life gets hard, don't say, "I can't." Say, "I will find a way," because you can. You always can. You just have to look for the door instead of staring at the wall. Remember, your focus decides your future. When you focus on problems, you get stuck. When you focus on solutions, you move forward. It's that simple, but it's also that powerful. Now take a deep breath. I feel how far you've come. You started by understanding the problem trap. Then you learned awareness, training your brain, turning setbacks into opportunities. using powerful language, and now, living with purpose and peace. You did it. If this message touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Maybe someone you know is stuck in a problem right now. Your share might help them see hope again. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what problem will you turn into a solution today? I'd love to read your thoughts. If this video gave you strength or peace, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss more inspiring lessons like this. Together, we can build a world full of people who focus on solutions, not problems. You are stronger than your fears, you are wiser than your worries, and you have everything you need inside you to rise above any problem. Thank you for watching, and remember always, focus on solutions, not problems.